Hello friends, we have been learning Java programming in this course so far, and today is the last session in this course. So with the end of this course, uh, you have learned the concepts about Java and the programming concept from the very beginning, like what are variables, what are operators, what are methods, what are classes, and the Java concepts related to oriented programming like inheritance, encapsulation, then overloading methods and overriding methods, and abstraction and refinement. So all these concepts are very useful and must be learned and must be understood before you can do Java programming. Uh, at the commercial level, when you want to work as a software engineer or any software projects, you need to know some things about how software products are built using Java. So I have one example here, like if the sponsor wants to build a web-based software product, like say Twitter or say Facebook. So what could be the common infrastructure needed to build such a software product? So generally, for web-based software products, the user interface will be HTML and some JavaScript for user authentication and some some you can say you want uh, check the logic at the front end, so you need the JavaScript for that. And then CSS or cascading style sheets are used for more formatting than what HTML can offer. And then Java server pages are used. So Java server pages are a mix of Java and you can say the user interface. So you can have the HTML content in Java server pages. So in some cases you can have purely Java server pages and no separate HTML written, and Java server page can generate all the HTML needed to display a user interface. So pages is one technology based on Java, and it is an interpreted language, and it is basically the many concepts of object oriented programming is not available in Java server pages because it is more like uh, procedural language than object oriented language, but it has been developed to build small small websites quickly, which have also have some business logic to be implemented and may be connected to a database. So it is a good technology for such uses. The other use of Java server pages is that it glues the uh, uh, the information coming from several sources. For example, you have a website and it gets some information from other website or other software product. So there is some connection. So this connection will be done in Java server pages, and even when you have pure Java compiled Java classes and they do all the work, still you may need the Java server pages because uh, uh, everything is you cannot write inside the classes. Some things you need to show. So one option on the front end, you can develop purely HTML pages, but the limitation of HTML is that uh, you cannot have uh, you cannot have you can say um, you will need to say you have say 5 HTML pages in a website. So all these pages, the code HTML code, you have to write separately, and you may copy, but they are separate HTML source code. But using Java server pages, the same uh, code you write in Java server pages, you can replicate. You don't need to copy and paste and replicate. It can generate, like you can write HTML pages inside Java server pages, and they will generate. And so uh, you can say a lot of reuse can happen, which is not available with HTML. And of course, it is like you can have complete control over how the user interface should look like when you use Java server pages, because uh, if you want to have some change in the layout, so inside Java server page you do not need to do a lot of changes. You just need to change some part which will be changing the layout, and this thing will be replicated on all the web pages which are generated. So these are some advantage of using Java server pages. In my future course I may teach Java server pages. And then the business logic uh, uh, should be implemented using Java classes. They are known as enterprise Java beans in Java parlance, and you can have all the business logic implemented in those classes. And then, of course, since it is a web based, so you need to deal with the HTTP protocol, and for that how means how the business logic should be connected to the user interface or the front end. So that also you need to take care of from the business logic, because it should be able to connect with the user interface, the front end. And then Java server pages, again you can use to write the business logic. So the entire business logic can be written in Java server pages, but in that case one disadvantage is that as it is interpreted, it will be slow. And the other disadvantage is that uh, some if somebody hacks your server, then from Java server pages, it is possible to get the password or user information, etc. Whereas if all the information is secured inside Java classes, then hacking is not possible, because it is all compiled code. It is all machine code. So hacking is not possible. And at the same time, they are compiled, so they run very fast. So these are some things to be considered for the business logic. And then the database, if your application is connecting to a database, then you may need some good database engine like Oracle or SQL Server or MySQL, etc. So uh, a commercial software product should have a database, should have a lot of business logic, and should have good user interfaces. And these are you need to learn about all these technologies. As far as HTML is concerned, generally in the editors available, say in Eclipse, they generate HTML code. So if you have some experience working in Eclipse, so it will generate HTML code when you design uh, from the visual using visual design. can do that. You do not need to learn HTML. Only slight knowledge is enough. Okay. So from here, how you can go from here after this course is you you can learn further technologies like JavaScript and Java server pages, and then something about the servlets, and then database programming. So at least you should have some more n- knowledge and experience about some of these technologies to get hired as a software engineer. And I have one example. The software product which I have built for, which is a part, which is a add-on for my books of Foundations of Software Engineering, which is coming just now in a few weeks. And I have made available all the source code for OBAS. The design aspects are there in my book, but the source code is available on my website, ahmedashfaq.wordpress.com. So you can download the source code and you can see how the OBAS system is built. And I have also provided some videos, training videos, how this OBAS system has been built, and how to download and the source code, and how uh, to to configure it in Eclipse. So that will be a good practice for you to learn how a good software product is built. Okay. So I say goodbye to everybody, and I thank everybody for their time. And we can meet in some next courses in future. So thanks for your time, and bye.